Very easy to program, and it's a lovely machine.
All right.
This machine has a couple different programming features, so we're going to just kind of walk you through each one of them. The first that's really important is the programming of the buttons. Now, this is a volumetric machine, which means we have these 4 buttons we can program, but the question is, how do you program it? So, easiest way to program it is we're going to have it, it's on right now, obviously. I'm going to hit the continuous button, or the stop-start button. I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds. It's going to start, and then it's going to stop. Or hold it for 10 seconds. One of the important things to know on this machine, and really all machines, we can see it flashing right now.
Okay.
The left group head is always called the master group head.
Got it.
So all the programming features really happen off of this one.
Okay.
I could go in over here on this particular volume and program this one, but all the other program features, if we try to use it on the right group head, it won't work.
Got it.
General concept behind this is I'm going to hit a button, and I'm going to shut it off at whatever volume I want. So here is the important part to remember with these, though. When you are programming for your volume, we are not going for water count. We are going for finished espresso.
Okay.
To do that, I have to have espresso.
Okay.
Espresso will actually absorb a lot of water. And so if you program it based on that concept, you're going to end up, let's say we do 2 ounces of pure water, and then I put espresso in.
It's going to end up being much shorter.
It's going to be much shorter.
Okay.
Now, here's the other thing to always keep in mind. You actually don't need a good shot. Personally, I don't like having a good shot.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is that it's going to absorb the same amount of water, but if we do a good shot, I'm going to end up with a lot of crema, which is going to make it very hard for me to settle wherever I want to go.
Okay.
So I kind of want a little bit of a faster shot because this is purely volume. It's not time. It's not anything else.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and program this for a 2-ounce shot.
And so you're just going to wait, you're just going to let it go?
I'm going to let it go.
Until you get up to that
for
double line?
These white lines, yes.
Okay.
Now, this is really up to you. Volume is really up to you. Ideally, you want a somewhat level shot. Even though it doesn't have to be a good shot, we do want to have a level shot because otherwise it's really hard to gauge where the 2 ounces are.
Okay.
So what I did right there is roughly a double shot where we want to program it. It was nice and quick. Probably tastes good.
And so now you just hit that again, and now you're out of your programming.
Now I'm back out of my programming.
So you can do that for each of the buttons here, and then if I want to do it on this one, I get in there and do it for each of those. So I technically have 8 programmable buttons.
Yeah, but this will copy automatically. So anything I do on the master automatically copies to the right.
Oh, nice.
So if I want the right to be different, be unique,
then you do it in there.
Yes,
okay.
You have to go in there. Let me get rid of that real quick and move on to our second.
Which is, it has an automated cleaning cycle?
It has an automated cleaning cycle, that is correct. So the automated cleaning cycle, and there's a little cheat sheet in case everyone's like, how do you always know this stuff? If you look right down here and you know what those little features mean, it does tell you what buttons.
Oh.
So you can see right here is going to be for cleaning.
Okay.
Right there means volume. It kind of tells you.
Okay.
But that's not in camera view, so until then, I just know everything. So the cleaning mode is actually through here.
All right.
And it's the same concept. We're going to hit this. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds.
And is this the same on both brew heads?
This is going to generate for both groups.
Oh, it will? Okay, cool.
So now, as soon as I hold that, you're going to see it's going to have, I don't know if you can focus on that, but it says coffee cleaning, yes or no. The way these buttons basically work is I can hit these up or down. The group head itself has a pattern to it. So effectively what it is plus is the first button, minus is the second button, this is the enter button. So your third button is enter or accept, and that's escape. Okay? So by hitting these buttons, I can say yes or no. Now I'm not going to take it into cleaning mode because that's going to kill our video for 20 minutes.
Okay.
But if you wanted to, you would change it to yes, you would hit enter, and then just follow the directions on the screen.
Okay.
And it'll automatically clean for you. You just got to put in the blind filter and the Airnex.
So it'll just run the whole backflushing process
and stuff. It's just going to run it, yep.
And I would load up both portafilters, and it would do it for both brew heads simultaneously?
After you hit the buttons, obviously.
Okay.
It's going to give you the option. So until then, the fourth button's escape. So we're going to get out of there. And now we're back out of there.
And then what else do I have?
So up on this one here, while the machine is on, we have what's called our barista section.
Okay.
That's the first button. Same thing, hold it about 10 seconds. And once that happens, we're going to come back to this screen. Now this, you don't have to watch my hands so much, we're just going to look on there. This gives me a couple different options. So I can change my lighting, right? So I can change colors. I can change if I want to turn it on or off. Maybe some people just don't want the lights.
Okay.
I can change if I have my group heads actually flashing RGB, you know, the actual color scheme or not. And if I wanted to do it during standby on or off. The next that I have is language. It's preset here into English. You're probably never going to change that unless you're taking this out of the country.
Okay.
From there I can do my clock, so I can actually set it. Have my date mode actually on there. Set the actual date, set the time. If you want military time, you can do that. Everything from there. This is a timer function. I'm not a big fan of this, but this does allow you to auto-program the machine on-off.
Oh, where it can turn on in the morning and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Not a big fan of that because you should never be turning the machine on or off. This is a counter function where it's going to let me know how many times a button's been hit.
Oh, okay.
So I can see my button 1, which is that one's actually been hit 10 times. And you can actually reset that if you want as well.
Okay.
Let me see how if you can see it functioning through there. Group 1, Group 2. I don't have a 3 group on here or a 4 group, but it does come in that function. So, but it's the same computer model.
Okay.
Same thing with my T buttons, steam, all that kind of stuff. Shows my total brewings, and I can reset it.
Okay.
So as an owner, if you want to keep track of how many times these buttons have been hit, how many brews you've had for the day, you can do that. Okay. This is renew boiler water. So if I want to tell this machine to flush, which I'm not going to do, but I could have the machine automatically get rid of all the water in the boiler and then renew it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Refresh everything.
And the regeneration reset, I actually do not remember what that is for because there's too many options that are inside of here. You'll see it when it's in the manual. It does have a breakdown, and there is a reason for doing that.
No, okay.
No, I don't.
All right.
This is the buzzer you hear every time I hit it. I can turn that off if that's annoying to you.
And we're back to lighting.
And we're back to lighting. So that is all the features in what they call the barista mode.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing, so let's get out of here. The next option, which is really the main setup option, this actually requires the machine to be turned off. So what we're going to do, and you can see on here, it's telling me to hold the button and hit on. We're actually going to hold the continuous button, which is this button right here. I'm going to turn the machine on.
All right.
And then I'm going to wait until it tells me. I'm going to keep holding, and finally it's going to come up and actually give me some options.
So when you first get the machine, you have to go through this process.
When you first get the machine, well, it does come pre-programmed. A tech likely is going to do that for you, but yes, you will have to go through this. It also, I'm going to get into it, but it's going to have some other features even after you own the machine. That you'll want to get into. So we're in our setup section right here. So I'm going to get into it by hitting the middle button, which is select. It's going to show me my pressure setting. This has an electronic pressure set, which means I can change my steam pressure directly through here. So if I wanted to kick it up to, say, 1.15, 1.2, I can do that right there, hit select, and then I'm good to go. So now it'll automatically raise to 1.2 bars. Okay. The rest of this stuff I probably advise staying out of, because here's our keyboard mode, how many products I want to have on here, dose setting, which actually the dose setting I could show you what that does there. So let me back that up real quick because I just hit a lot of buttons. What I just did right here under dose setting is I'm going to hit select. This is going to say group 1. Now group 1, again, could become up to a 4-group machine. Group 1 is this group. Group 2 is this group. Okay. So if you see, it'll go all the way up to group 4. So if you have a 4-group machine, you can do that. What we're going to do is go into my group 1 setting. And I'm going to hit select. Now I can choose from my 4 buttons. So same thing. I can go button 1, button 2, button 3. I'm going to go to the second button because if you remember, we just programmed this one. Okay, and I'm going to hit select. When we programmed it, what it did was it selected impulses. That's how these volumes work. There's a flow meter inside that's spinning. It knows that it spins 142 times to make that happen. If I want to make a small adjustment without doing that whole process again, I can just select and I can make it 145 impulses. I
see. Nice.
So if you did it just a little wrong, you're doing it and you're like, man, I'm just a hair underneath my 2 ounces, I can just come in and add it. Same thing as I can subtract it back. And we can do that. Now I hit OK. I can do that for every single button I have. So button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4. And for both group heads. It's kind of a nice feature.
Cool. Anything else in here?
Delivery control, you don't really need to worry about. Auto dose is not really there. Units, again, not a big deal, but I could change it to read out in Celsius. I could change the bar setting if I wanted to. Reduce power, it'll shut itself a little bit lower if you want. The rest of it, yeah. The rest I wouldn't worry about through this side because this is much more tech level stuff.
Okay.
Here, this is not Excelsis, so we don't have to worry about it. But we could get into our counters function.
And that just counts how many drinks and things like that.
It's how many counts are going through that standpoint. The rest of it is very techy. So from a cafe owner standpoint, the only real reason you get in here is just a couple of those basic changes, mainly those impulses.
Great. Okay, cool. Thanks so much, Brandon.
Thanks, Kat.